social networks, don't take it for granted. I didn't want to waste my body anymore to the limits of not being able to walk when I'll be 50 or 60. Everybody think that I'm so successful fishing, but I'm posting only myself with a fish. So Lithuania was always a problem for us. Let's say bigger balls. I'm not gonna answer that question. This is not for me. And players asking too much money, the club's trying to lower it. Definitely, Arturas is one of the biggest prospects. Is he a first option? Maybe. Man, yeah, those are. Come on, man, you gotta make it easier. Wow.
Smile. Try to smile. Okay. Okay. Labas Delfi TV žiūrovai, sveikinusi su jumis aš Mindaugas Kuzminskas jau 7-ąjį kartą laidoje iš Rūbinės. Šį vakarą pakalbinsim mano manymu vieną mėgstamiausių Kauno Žalgirio žaidėjų, Marko Popovičių. Taigi, hello Marko. Thanks that you found some time for me. Where are you at the moment and in general, how are you?
First of all, hello everybody. Well, I'm okay. Been at home in Croatia, in Zadar, since March 15, since all this Corona stuff started. So basically, I escaped from Russia to be with my family, and then what was going on right now in Russia, we cannot go back, and everything canceled in the meantime. So here I am, waiting for the next moves.
It's second summer after you finished your career. So what have changed?
Well, the last summer, I didn't consider it as a first summer. I mean, I didn't prepare myself in terms of being professional, but I never stopped practicing. The thing is that I was looking was the best for me. I couldn't find myself, but right now it's going to be different, definitely, because I've been home since March 15th of March, and I don't know when I'll be able to go back in Russia. So basically, it's strange time for me, strange situation, definitely.
But a lot of players falls into depression after they finish your career, but you look pretty happy. And when I see your social network, you look happy, you're fishing, spending a lot of time with your family. So the transfer to normal life wasn't that hard for you?
Well, social networks, don't take it for granted. Nobody should do it because you post whatever you want to post it at the moment. Trying to keep my personal life not too open, but at the same time trying to let everybody know that I'm okay. Do I miss basketball? Yes, definitely. Does any other job will fulfill me like playing? Definitely no. Am I in depression? No, but I'm still enjoying playing with my friends, scrimmage basketball. When I'm in Russia, we always play once per week. So basically, still searching for myself, the spot under the sunlight, and definitely it's not the easiest transition, but like I said, I'm far away from depression.
You finished your career in Falabrada and you were one of the best players on the team, and you still, like you said, you were enjoying basketball. So why you made this decision?
The problem is that it cost me a lot practicing twice a day. It cost me a lot because of my ankle, my knee, and being separated from my family since my kids started to go to school. Actually, my older kids started to go to school, and I didn't want to be away from them anymore. So with 37 on my back, I decided to retire. I didn't want to waste my body anymore to the limits of not being able to walk when I'll be 50 or 60. So I believe that I made a great move, and especially with the retirement that I had, that I only could imagine that. So the scenario, I wouldn't write it that well how it ended up.
Yeah, because especially in the last game, you scored that 3 from 11 meters. But as I know, before the game, you had some doubts if you're gonna play or not. And even before the game, you had a party until 3 a.m., right?
Yeah, exactly. This is the first time actually in my professional career that all of my friends from Croatia, all of my family came for the last game. So we went for a lunch. We stayed at the same restaurant from the lunch until 3 o'clock in the morning, and the next day we played at 12:30 in the morning. So midday. 2 weeks before that, I got hurt. My collateral ligament was damaged, and I wasn't supposed to play for 6 weeks. And somehow, with the help of the doctors, I ended up playing. Coach asked me if I want to. I, of course, confirmed it, and it ended how it ended. Definitely the best possible way.
Yeah, and after that, I also read that you were partying for 3 more days, right? But that's okay.
No. Exactly that same day, but not longer than that, because the very next day I already flew to Croatia because I had something planned here. So basically I had 2 great days with my friends and my families, and especially with the people in Prenumeruokite that accepted me so good. And I really enjoyed 4 years there, because being an experienced player at the end of your career and enjoying basketball in Spain, like you already know how good that league is and how respectful it is for the players. So definitely I enjoyed it.
Despite more time with family, what are the things you're allowing to yourself to do right now when you finished playing?
Oh man, I love fishing. I go whenever I can. Unfortunately, in the past week or 2, it's pretty windy. I cannot go out with a boat. Sometimes this is the social network that you were saying before. Everybody think that I'm so successful fishing, but I'm posting only myself with a fish. So everybody think that I'm a great fisherman. No, I'm not. More time I come home without the big fish. So don't take it for granted, like I said before.
I believe that you were thinking what you're gonna do after your career every year. What were your ideas during the seasons, during your career? Like, you plan to be a GM? Because I thought that you're gonna be a coach.
No. You cannot plan being a GM of some club, especially not a EuroLeague club. The thing is that I didn't expect some call like this. I'm really grateful to being part of Zenit basketball right now, and really grateful for the call from the people from the club. The thing is that I started the coaching sessions, the coaching course in Spain, and it takes maybe a half a year to end it, and just to have it, because always thought that I'll coach, but it turned out that this offer was right after my career. I wanted to do something. I didn't want to have that long empty space in between being free and doing something, so I accepted, and I didn't regret it at all.
You would like maybe to work as a coach in your future or no?
Well, it's not that I'm not doing it. If some guy here in Zadar asked me to work out with him, I'm doing it individually. I like to see the practices now. Even working as a GM in Zenit, I'm present on every single practice because I like to watch practices. Especially, I like to watch games. But I don't know what to tell you. The thing is that it was really too early to accept something. Being GM, being agent. Well, being agent, I couldn't do it. I wanted to be, but the part of me no. And then I was doing it for 7 days, and I said, hell no, I can't do that. Being in between players and the clubs, no, I said thank you very much. So I moved on, and 3 months after that, it came this offer, and I accepted it. And well, like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna regret it in the future, but so far, it's pretty pleasant to be part of the organization like Zenit.
Why you couldn't be an agent?
Well, most of the agent would be pissed if I say the truth, but the thing is that Players asking too much money, the club's trying to lower it, which is normal. But me being in the middle, actually, I was just working with one player, and I got so pissed that I said, thank you very much, this is not for me, and I walked away from that job.
During your career, you had a lot of coaches. Which one is kind of example for you as a coach, and which one made a biggest impression for you?
Well, every single coach gave me something special. Definitely, I can say that the coaches in Spain are tactically probably the best. The coaches from ex-Yugoslavia are most probably the coaches with let's say, bigger balls, if I can say it that way. If you want to censor it, but I had to say it. The coach that coached me, you'd be maybe surprised that I learned a lot, not maybe tactically, but controlling the team, managing the group, was Nestor Garcia, Argentinian guy, coach at the end of my career, like 2 years ago, and we had so much fun that definitely I learned a lot from him at the end of my career. But the coach that had the biggest impact on especially at the beginning of my career, was Daniel Yusup here in Zadar. We won Adriatic League and the cup at the same year. And then who else? Dražen Anzulovic. He's another one who showed me the basics of playing the real EuroLeague basketball. And I can mention many more that I learned from, but these three, let's say, that I learned a lot from. And another one that I learned from is definitely Jota Cuspinera. Most probably his knowledge of basketball is on the level that I never worked with Željko Obradović or Messina, but I can tell that this guy knows a lot about basketball.
Before this interview, I read a lot of your interviews from the past, and in one of them you said that you would like to be like Jasikevičius. What did you have in your head?
Well, Shaz definitely was a leader, and the thing is that he's a leader. He was a leader when he was playing. He's a leader being a coach, and most probably he's the leader of the court. Most probably, I don't know how is it. We're not talking now about his private life, but definitely he was a guy that would tell you everything in the face. That's what it seems from the side. I never worked with him, and either you like him or not, but he will tell you whatever it goes to your face. So that's why I always respected him. So Lithuania was always a problem for us. Players asking too much money, the club's trying to lower it. I'm not gonna answer that question. This is not for me. And is he a fifth option? Maybe.
You are not a coach, not an agent, but sports director. How an offer from Zenit came? Just from nowhere?
The general director called me. We had maybe a 10 days talk. The thing helped because Jean Plaza was a coach. I speak Spanish, I speak Russian, I speak English, and most probably that was the reason why I ended up there. Actually, not the most probably, but it was the reason why I ended up there. And definitely thankful to Joan, thankful to the club of Zenit for the call, and we'll see what brings the future. I am where I am right now. It's time to build the team, and hopefully we're gonna have a successful EuroLeague season, upcoming season.
How many languages you speak? If I'm not wrong, you speak like 6 languages?
No, 5. Well, Croatian, Russian, Spanish, Italian, and English. Not Lithuanian, definitely.
No, but I remember when you were in Lithuania, like, if we were talking slow, you were picking up something, especially if we were talking about you.
I could no. I could understand pretty much everything that you were talking, but I couldn't speak. I remember Mario Delos, he was able to speak, but not me. I could understand pretty much everything, especially when the talk was going about basketball, but about something else, I couldn't understand it.
Do those languages help you in this work?
Being able to understand what somebody else talking next to you is a really great thing and helped me a lot throughout my career, and especially now being a part of Zenit.
And what are your duties right now in Zenit?
Being in between the office and the players and the court and the coaches, right now being alongside with the coach, building a team for the next season. This is the main thing to do right now, and the negotiations, this is the hardest part right now, but hopefully everything gonna turn out and work out for us well, because the market is pretty different. I believe that nobody got used to this situation because it's unique with this coronavirus. Somehow we're gonna definitely build a team, and then we'll see the results gonna say it for itself.
How your day looks like during the season?
Well, waking up 8, being in the office already at 9, making a plan with general director and everybody from the office, going downstairs, watching the practices of the first team, then watching the games, staying in contact with many other GMs of the other, not only EuroLeague clubs, but other clubs also, been in contact with the scouts, with the agents, with everybody. A lot of time spending on the phone. So sometimes I end up at 3, sometimes I end up at 5, 6, depend. And then I do something for myself. I go to the gym. Sometimes I run, sometimes I play basketball with the people from the office. Definitely, it's totally different than I had before. There is no exact rhythm, but slowly getting used to it. And is it easier to practice and play? Yes, definitely it is, because you know the rules. Here, there is no exact time when you work. This is the biggest problem of this work.
So, as I understand, you will continue your experience with Zenit. And what is your vision of Zenit team in the future, like in the long term?
Definitely depends on the result. What I would like to have is to maintain players 2-3 years and always rebuilding, not changing every year 10 up to 12 players. I would always like to have the structure of the team based on 5-6 players. The problem is I came in the middle of the season when already team was built, but I learned a lot looking from the side. But right now is how Americans would say money time, when you have to make your earn your payments. So this is basically the time when the GMs, scouts, agents work a lot. And definitely, since this morning I had 72 calls.
How your team managed all the situation with this virus, salary-wise?
We came to an agreement considering both FIBA and EuroLeague, and at the end, I think that everybody is pretty much happy with the deal that we offered. Basically, this is not my part of the job, and I believe the club was fair. From the other hand, players also understood the situation. I know it's hard to find a collective contract between all the clubs around Europe because of the laws, different laws from the countries, and this is the biggest problem of the EuroLeague.
And what's the worst and most annoying thing in your job at the moment?
Well, not being able to help players on the court, seeing something that goes wrong, and just looking at it from the side. And then, of course, losing a game sometimes and seeing some annoying things that players, for example, don't fight. don't give the effort that they should have. So this is the biggest problem, looking at it from the side. But also the great thing is that you don't have to practice in the morning. It was the biggest problem for me at the end of my career, practicing twice a day, especially in the morning.
There are a lot of rumors about Zenit budget. So how big it was last year, and if it's gonna be bigger or lower next year?
I'm not gonna answer that question. This is not for me, and definitely we weren't. Those numbers were not correct.
But I'll ask you one more question about rumors. Is Artūras Gudaitis on your wish list?
Definitely, Artūras is one of the biggest prospects, and even now one of the best centers in the EuroLeague. The guy with a lot of power, a lot of athleticism. I like him very much. The thing is that we have also some other guys on the list. Is he a first option? Maybe. Is he a fifth option? Maybe. I won't tell you that, but I respect him a lot.
Plaza was your coach at Žalgiris, and suddenly
Yes.
you kind of became his employer. Was it hard for you to transfer like this?
Yeah, definitely was. The thing is that I consider Joan more as a professor, more as a teacher than as a coach. The thing is that the situation in Zenit wasn't great for him, first of all because of the results. But let's have in mind that the season before I got there, half of the season, second part of the season, he did a great job. Was it a problem with the players or was it a problem with the staff? I don't know. I'm not going to talk about that, but definitely it was a strange situation for me, being with Joan sitting in the office, at the same table, on the trips, and then looking him as a coach, yes, definitely was strange.
I'm not sure if it's your job or not, but who is telling to coaches or players that they're not going to continue their career in the club? So is it hard to say to coaches or players to say goodbye?
Of course, that's always the hardest part, but at the end of the season, when their contract ends up, this is the easiest way. But when it happens, like it happened with, for example, with Jean, unfortunately, this is part of our jobs. It happened to me in Valencia. Maybe it's going to happen with you in some other clubs, or it might happen already. This is being a professional, and you got to learn from this stuff. Unfortunately, it's the hardest part to say to someone that he's not going to continue.
You spent 4 years in Žalgiris. What were the best things and the worst things in Lithuania?
Well, the best things definitely was playing the games against Rytas in Vilnius. Why? Because the gym was half full from our fans, and definitely winning those kind of games, titles over there was the great joy. But at the same time, not trying to be disrespectful, because we were singing the songs in the bus, maybe some disrespectful ones. Stop laughing, you were doing it too. But young, silly, crazy. From the point of view, I would maybe take it back, but back then, no. Those victories were the greatest. The bad part of being in Lithuania was at the end of every single year that I played there, the GM changed. I had 4 different GMs, and couldn't really rely on every single one after leaving after the season, and definitely money issues also. And Marko was at the end of the problem, at the end of my 4th year, a problem. But not knowing who's going to be the GM was kind of scary for me. So I wanted to protect myself by law and everything.
So the unclear situation with GMs was the reason why you left Žalgiris first time, and who made you to come back?
I wouldn't say the major problem were the GMs, but it was kind of scary not knowing who's going to be in the club. It seemed at the moment that it's unstable. Even though knowing that the biggest brand in Lithuanian sport is Žalgiris, but I don't know. I really can't really answer that question. Coming back second year, after winning a Euro Cup with Unix, I was waiting for the offers, and I had some negotiations with one of the biggest clubs in Europe, but at the end it turned out that I didn't sign for them and already started a European Championship in Lithuania, and the offer came and I accepted it. It was a bit, I don't know, bittersweet because it was strange. I wouldn't go through the details, but I accepted it because I knew where I was going.
Once you said, honestly, after Žalgiris, there was no team where I would like to come back so much. Why Žalgiris for you was that special?
Well, the fans accepted me so well that being a part of Žalgiris actually felt being like a real sportsman, recognized on the street, recognized in restaurants. Well, being a young, all of this kind of spotlight was something special to me at the moment. But would I like to go through all of that right now? Not the second time. I loved it back then, but not anymore. In Kaunas, when something has a soul, something has a tradition, it's something that you cannot buy, and that's what I actually felt there. Did we have bad moments? Yes. Did I have bad moments? Yes. But the joy that I have over there goes over these bitter moments, and definitely I wouldn't change a moment spent there.
So like you said, probably it was a really hard decision for you to sue Žalgiris for your money, right?
Exactly. This is the biggest, most probably the toughest part of my career, aside for playing for Cibona when everybody was booing me in my hometown, Zadar. So these two things, maybe I would say that was the toughest part.
Do you remember any funny stories which happened with you and Romanov?
Oh man, man, I wasn't like Milovan Rakovic boxing before the games and come into the locker room sweating and then shooting airballs from the free throws like he did. But I had very, very strange conversations that I saw the game, me and Daniel Shalenga. Oh my God, man. We were accused that we were selling games. I wanted to leave. I called my agent at the moment and I said, I'm not playing for this guy anymore. And somehow Coach Trifunovic back then called me and said, you're not the only one that he told that. So I just waited a couple days for the situation to calm down, and then from that point on we finished the season. And like everybody knows, man, I'm not the only one that was accused. I believe like 20 more players had the same experience like I did.
Right now there is a book about his experience in Žalgiris, about the time when he was in Žalgiris. So even I was 3 years with him, I found some new stories. It was pretty interesting, So probably he was the weirdest president in your career.
Yeah, because I heard, actually, not that I heard, I experienced that I had to go in when he wrote before the game, in what minute, and then in what minute to go out, no matter how you play, no matter how you perform on a court. Yes, definitely the weirdest situation in my career with him.
If you were a guide, which 3 places you would recommend to visit in Lithuania?
Well, Palanga, I loved it there. When we we went in the middle of the season to one hotel. I don't know if it's Sabas Hotel or it was Sabas Hotel. We enjoyed it so much over there. Well, definitely Kaunas. I loved Kaunas, especially my last year already. Senamiestis was pretty cool time to be. There's some restaurant, bars, walking through the old town next to cathedral. That's a pretty cool place. And then the castle is pretty nice. So what's the name? Remind me, please. The castle on the lake.
Trakai.
Trakai, exactly. Trakai is pretty cool too. Well, you have a lot of lakes, and whenever we went there for a day off, fishing, going to saunas, having a couple beers, the nature, I loved it there.
We were talking about our El Clasico, Rytas Žalgiris. What were your feelings about Rytas back in the days? And if you had an offer when you were at the peak of your career from Rytas, but no other team, would you sign with them or no?
Well, after Žalgiris, it's actually somebody, I wouldn't mention the name, somebody called me and asked me, would I like to go and play for them? And I said, listen, I did it once going from Zadar to Sivona. I don't want to do it a second time, especially after 4 years that I spent there. And I just said, thank you, but no thank you. Gained the respect from the fans. Really thankful for how they accepted me, so I didn't have the guts to do it.
Are you still close with some of Žalgiris players or office members?
Yes, especially with the players. You are the one of them, Mantas, Yankee, and Jonas Machulis. And now with Robis, since we are sharing the same spot. Man, yeah, those are. Come on, man, you gotta make it easier. Caulabrada, man. Wow.
Marko, so let's get back in time to 2002, under 20 championship in Lithuania. I'm not sure if it was your first time in Lithuania or not, but I just checked your statistics and you were averaging 25 points and 7 assists a game. And it's really impressive because you had a lot of great players in that championship. Nenad Kirstic, Beno Undrich, Spanulis, Zizis, and I can mention a lot of more. So what do you think? You were the best young player at that moment?
Yes, I had a great tournament. Unfortunately, we lost the quarterfinals to Greece only by 2 points. I believe that year we could have done more. The problem was that we didn't have Zoran Planic playing with us. With him, I believe it would have been a different story. That's why I had bigger numbers, because I was probably averaging 37, 38 minutes a game, shooting a lot of balls, taking a lot of responsibilities. And yes, I had a great tournament. Unfortunately, not taking any medals. Ended up being in the starting 5 of the European Championships. And I remember one small blondie took a picture with me, came and asked me to take a picture, and look how it turned out. Being an NBA player that played across the Europe, and his name is Kuzminskas.
So imagine me, I took a picture with one of the best players in that championship, because also my brother was playing there and I was going to the games. And then after after almost 8-9 years, I was playing with you. So for me, it was like a kind of dream come true. But after that championship, probably you had a lot of offers, but did you have any offer from NBA in your career?
I put my name on the spotlight after that European Championship. The thing is that basically the upcoming season, playing for Zadar, when we won the Adriatic League and we won a cup, we beat Maccabi in the finals, and I was named MVP. Actually, I was really on the radar of the scouts, and then I could have been drafted most probably in the second round, not better than that, if I put my name. But then, after that season, I signed with Valencia, where I didn't play at all. And I had the worst experience as a player at that place, but not blaming nobody else. It was actually most probably the biggest blame was on me. That was the only most probably potentially option to be drafted was after winning the Adriatic League, if I put my name on the draft.
Also, I think that back in the days it was harder to make it to the league than it is right now.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, now every year you have 3 or 4, maybe 5 players from around the world being drafted, none being Americans every year. And even it's going to be even more now with Luka Doncic doing this kind of stuff, Domantas Sabonis, Bojan Bogdanovic, Marjanovic, all of these players, Bjelica, that are actually having a huge impact on the NBA basketball.
Do you have any regrets on your career? Maybe some contracts which you didn't sign? Or contracts you signed?
No. Well, I was in talks with Real Madrid on 2011, but never had any regrets about the clubs. Most probably I had regrets about national team not winning a medal with my own guys, with my own friends. So this is the only regret I have.
Yeah, but all the time you had great team, great players, but you didn't win anything. So what was the problem?
I don't know, maybe egos, maybe voodoos, maybe the weather, but we always were so close and never made it to the semifinals, except once playing in Slovenia, and we lost to you guys again, like we did in Spain against great team that Lithuania had back then. We lost some other games against Spain in 2005 in overtime in quarterfinals. So we were always so close, but never could have passed that knockout stage. And most probably we had the biggest opportunity in Belgrade on 2005 when we were up by 17 in quarterfinals and we somehow lost that game.
If I'm not wrong, you played in 6 European Championships, Olympic Games and World Cup, right?
Exactly, yes.
So what do you think? I think you already said, but where you had the biggest chance to win something?
Well, the biggest chance definitely was in 2005 because we had a great group stage, but again lost to Lithuania. This Lithuania was always a problem for us. I remember Jasaitis was doing pretty good that game and Šiškauskas. Then we beat Italy and Turkey in the group and ended up playing against Spain. And that was a game with high tensions because of what happened in the history between Croatia, Serbia, and a lot of people was booing us in the quarterfinals. But we were so motivated to show and present best basketball possible. But unfortunately, we lost to Spain, ending up playing overtime, and in overtime, we just blew it.
Okay, Marko, now I'm gonna ask you to name top 5 players in your career which you played with.
This is really hard question. Most probably I would say at position 1, Tyrese Rice. At a position 2, wow, man, this is hard to tell. There are many names that I could name right now. For example, Tony Granger, Marcus Brown. I don't know, really hard to tell on position 2. Well, I don't know, maybe one of them, definitely. At a position 3, I would name my own cousin Arijan Komazec. At a position 4, Darius Lavrinovic and Dino Raja. Dino Raja, most probably the best player I've ever played with.
Okay, what about coach?
What about coach? Well, I would say Nestor Garcia, because we had the best relation, and the guy who really manages the group pretty good, or Daniel Yusuf from Zadar.
Before you mentioned a lot of coaches, but also you were coached by Kurtinaitis in Chimki. What are your memories about him?
Rimas Kurtinaitis has one great quality. First of all, he's a great person. Second of all, he feels the game pretty good. It's obvious because he was a great player, great shooter, and guy that actually helped me a lot when nobody else was thinking that I can play a point guard position, but half of my career I played as a point. He said, Marco, I need you at a point guard position. And I had 2 good seasons over there, and we worked respectfully, really good, and definitely only respect for him.
Yeah, I was playing with Fritzon, with Dairis Bertens, who are shooters and who played with him, like for his teams. So they told me that it's really good to play as a shooter in his team, you know. So I bet that it was good for you.
True, I had a year and a half really great, but unfortunately 2 consecutive injuries at the end of my second year stopped me to perform on the highest level, and that's actually why we split our paths. But definitely I stayed in touch with Rimas, even though now, since I'm in Zenit, when we played each other, we talked a lot. And yes, being a shooter, being a point guard, but not only point guard. I remember he had some really special set plays that I've never seen that any other coach had. So does he has disadvantages? Yes, but is he a good coach? Definitely.
Can you name 5 best Croatians of all time?
Definitely, that's the easiest part for me. The point guard is Damir Mulamerovic, the shooting guard Dražen Petrovic, at the position 3 Toni Kukoc, at the position 4 I would name Dino Radja, and at the position 5 Stojko Vrankovic.
Amazing team,
Definitely. Amazing team. Amazing, definitely. And there are some other players like Perasovic, Komazec, Tabak. So all of the great players. And this is a team actually that played 92 Olympic finals against Dream Team.
And the last one, 5 best Lithuanian players of all time, because you're pretty close to Lithuania, you know our history and so on. So
yeah. Well, I can name now 3 or 4 fives that are pretty close to each other, but let's say at the position 1, definitely Sharas. At the position 2, always this position is crucial. I mean, not the crucial, but it's harder to choose. If we choose the real shooter from the history, most probably should be Rimas Kurtinaitis. But if we choose from modern history, like real shooter, should be maybe Arvydas Macijauskas. But since I played with him at his end of career, I would pick definitely Štombergas. Then at the position 3, even though if he's not a clear 2, I would pick at the position 3 Šiškauskas. Again, I'm going to position 4 to Darius Lavrinovic, and position 5, obviously, Sabas.
And the last part, I'm gonna mention 2 names, 2 teams, 2 cities or something like that, and you gotta choose one of them. You cannot choose both or none of them, okay?
Okay.
Dražen Petrovic or Michael Jordan?
Wow. I had to say Michael Jordan, man.
Kaunas or Fuenlabrada?
Oh man, you're not fair now, man. Kaulabrada, man.
Kaulabrada, okay. This one gonna be easy for you. Jankūnas or Kalnietis?
Kalnietis.
Shane Larkin or Mike James?
Man, yeah, those are Come on, man. You gotta make it easier. Shane Larkin because of the last season.
Medal with Croatian national team or EuroLeague champion?
Medal.
Okay.
Medal.
Moscow or St. Petersburg?
St. Petersburg.
Trifunovic or Plaza?
Plaza.
The last part probably is all the time the hardest one because you don't want to insult anybody, and you want to be like kind of diplomatic, but
Yeah, well, listen, Dražen Petrovic is the biggest player of Croatian history, but at the same time, my idol at the moment was Michael.
And okay, before we finish this nice conversation, I would like to take a picture with you. We make a selfie, because look, I remember your gift. I still have it, When you were in Žalgiris, I asked you for your t-shirt.
Okay, nice.
So I'm gonna put it on and we're gonna make a picture, okay?
Okay, great.
Yeah, smile, try to smile, okay? Okay. Okay, Marko, so thank you one more time for your time and best of luck during the summer and of course a lot of patience for you as a GM.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, definitely I'll need it.
Ačiū Marko dar kartą už šį pokalbį. Ir nors jisai buvo vienas atviriausių žaidėjų, kuomet žaidė Lietuvoje, tačiau net nebejoju, kad išgirdote naujų istorijų ir jūs. O dabar visi kartu linkime jam sėkmės naujame karjeros etape, be abejo ne prieš Lietuvos komandas. Iki susitikimo kitose laidose.